So, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so we are studying about the types of cooperative societies. So, the previous class we have studied about what is a cooperative society, and we also studied about the features, the merits, and the limitations of the cooperative society. And we started to study about what is a cooperative society and what are the different types of cooperative societies. Okay, and in that we have studied the first one is about the consumers cooperative society. The consumers cooperative society means that it is a cooperative society formed by different consumers in order to avoid the middlemen. See, like when you are purchasing a product from the shop, normally we are purchasing the product from the nearby retail shop, and we purchase the product on the MRP price. Okay, but if you purchase this product from a wholesaler, or if you purchase this product from directly from a company, we will be able to get in a very low price. Okay, nowadays people started using, instead of this type of system, people started using online purchasing. So the companies' websites are there. You see, like if you want to purchase any branded products, like branded shirts, shoes, or any type of products like that. So what you can do is that you have to join, or you have to enter into the website. Almost now, see, like because of this corona and problems like that, most of the companies are having online shoppings. Okay, so or also we can say like Amazon, Flipkart, or such kind of so many websites are the online shopping websites are there. So, but in the online shopping website, they are taking a percentage of profit. Okay, so it is there. See, like a company is taking profit, and then after that it is given to the distributor. Then distributor will be there. There are different distributors, those who are supplying the product to Amazon or Flipkart and so on, and they also take a some amount of profit. But still, we get some amount of discount when you purchase it from the Amazon and so on directly. And when you consider about a cooperative society, what they do is that they purchase the product in a bulk quantity from the wholesale shop, or maybe directly from the company, and they will get a product in a very low price, and they will be able to distribute this product to the customers. Okay, so that is the method that the consumers cooperative society is doing. Second one we have studied is about the producers cooperative society. So this producers cooperative society are made by the small scale producers. See, for example, like if a cotton industry is there, or silk industry is there, or any type of such kind of businesses are there. So these kinds of factories or the industries are there. They are very small scale. See, like they are home trade like that. So home cottage industry you might have studied, or small scale industry you have studied. So this is such kind of firms are there. So different small industrialists are there, but they don't have a facility, or they don't have the power, or they don't have financial resources to go and purchase the raw materials where it is available. In plenty of raw materials are available from there. They are unable to purchase directly, or they may not be able to go and get the raw materials required in a low price. So they will be purchasing it from also that products they are purchasing it from the market on the MRP price, and when they produce the product, then the cost of production will be high, and they will not get much profit. So in order to avoid this one, the producers cooperative societies have started. So there will be a large number of people will be there, those who are producing somewhat similar type of products, and they combine together to join a cooperative society, and so they will be purchasing the large amount of raw materials in bulk. Like if there are, see, if one industry is there, and if they are producing 10 output in a day, so they need only 10 input, is not 10 raw materials required in a day. So such kind of 100 companies are there. Then what happens is that they, in a day itself, they require 1,000 raw materials for all the companies, and if it is for 1 week, then 7,000 product is required. If it is for 1 month, then it around 30,000 raw materials will be required. So if they have to purchase that much big amount, say for 1 month products required, 30,000 or 50,000 products together, raw materials, if they are purchasing from the company directly, they will get it in a very bulk bulk quantity in a very small price. And they will be able to supply these raw materials to the these producers, and these producers will be able to produce the product in a very low cost, and they will be able to make a higher profit. And even after producing the product that they are produced, after once you see, like if a single individual producer is there, then he has to sell this to a supplier, or he has to sell it to a shop nearby, and they will not be getting much profit. But if they are able to supply, if you are able to sell this product in a faraway place where the product is not plenty available, or where the demand is very much high, they will be able to get a higher product profits. So this producers cooperative society will have distribution channels, distribution system, transportation facilities will be there, warehousing facilities will be there. So they will be taking the products from the small scale owners or small scale producers, and they join together. And they may also have, like, see, this packing machines and other type of products and all are there. See, like if you have to pack a product, the packing machine, the labeling machine, printing machine, all these type of things are very costly, very costly equipments are there. And like multinational companies, like, and all, they are using this, like if consider about a Coca-Cola company. So in a second, around 600, 700 products are manufactured. Okay, or in a minute, 1 minute time, 600, 700 products are manufactured. And this is fully automatic machines are there. They are having, so there is no any manual activities not done. So all these things are done by robots. So such kind of productions are there. So such kind of equipments are very costly, and a single or a small scale industry or a producer will never be able to purchase such a machine. So his entire company or the entire things may not be, if he sell all the property, then also, like it is costing such kind of packing machines and all are costing 100 crore rupees, 200 crore rupees, like that. And their total asset will be also some 10 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees. So then where they will be able to purchase such a huge, and that much production is not there also. You know, so like in a minute, around 500 products are manufactured. Means you can calculate in an hour or in a day how many products they are manufacturing. So such a huge production is done in multinational companies. But for a small scale producer, in a minute they will be producing, or in an hour they will be producing some 10 products or things like that. So that is the way that they are producing. So such kind of things will be there. So they combine together, they will purchase, and some large number of people come together to make a cooperative society, and they will be purchasing a packing machine or transportation facilities. All these things are arranged so that the producers will be getting benefit. Next, we have to study is about the third cooperative society, that is a marketing cooperative society. Such societies are established to help small producers in selling their products. The members consist of producers who wish to obtain reasonable price for their output. The society aims to eliminate middlemen and improve competitive position of its members by securing a favorable market for the products. It pools the output of individual members and performs marketing functions like transportation, warehousing, packaging, etc. To sell the output at the best possible price, profits are distributed according to each member's contribution to the pool of output. So marketing cooperative society also, just like the producers cooperative society helps the activities in the production, and the marketing cooperative society helps the activities of selling. Okay, so mostly this producers cooperative society also helps in the selling activities also, but this marketing cooperative society is made only for the purpose of selling of the product. Means they are not helping, or they are not concerned with the activities of production. They are concerned with the activities of marketing or selling of the product. So, you know, see, like if a producer is producing a product and it is not possible that he will be going and distributing the product, or he will not have facility to distribute the product everywhere. Okay, so big companies, they have their own distribution channels, they have their own transportation facilities, warehousing facilities, all these things are there. But a small scale producer will not have all these facilities. So they join together to form a marketing cooperative society. See, like you might have heard about this Unilever Corporation. So this Unilever Corporation, it is a marketing company. It is not a company who is which is producing. It started as a cooperative society, right? It started as a marketing cooperative society. Now it is becoming as a company. but earlier it was just like a cooperative society like. So what they do is that they collect this. There are say, small scale sellers are there, small scale producers are there. So they purchase some product from different sellers and they combine together and they sell the product. So they make out the marketing opportunities. So it started in Tamil Nadu and was started as a very small scale industry like that. So Hindustan Liver, that was the name that they have started in the earlier. And after that, now they started as a multinational company. So they gave the name as Unilever Corporation. So it became a very big company. Now earlier it was a cooperative society like. Okay, so they what they do is that they collect the products from different products and they help in selling the product. Okay, and they give good price to the producers. So the producers are very happy, as well as they are also getting profit. So they have a large number of products. You know, see, like Unilever is selling very large number of products. So many type of products they are selling, but most of these products are not manufactured by them. There are some other companies, those who are manufacturing it. The only work that the Unilever is doing is that they will sell this product. They take the product from a producer and they have distribution channel, they have transportation system, they have packing system, they have warehousing system. All these systems are there and they distribute the product in anywhere. So they are dealing with a many number of product. So it is very easy for them to transport the product or warehousing. All these things can be done because see, like if we are transporting a product, all the type of mostly they are producing FMCG product. Do you know what is FMCG? Fast moving consumer goods. Okay, fast moving consumer goods means that the products which are ready to use. Okay, so you purchase the product and on the spot you can start using it. So such kind of products are called as the FMCG products. Okay, very ready to use, like bread is there or biscuits or jam or these type of products are there. So you need not to do anything. Most of the product that we are purchasing, you see, for example, if you purchase rice, so purchase rice, but you cannot use it as it is. You have to cook it and eat it. You know, if you purchase masala, so you are purchasing a masala, you cannot use it directly, but you have to mix it into any vegetable and use it. So these products are not considered as FMCG. FMCG product means that it is ready to use. As soon as you purchase, you can use it. A packet of biscuit, you can consider it is a FMCG product. So as soon as you get it, you can use it. A soap or any type of products are there which we can use it on the spot or as soon as there is no any other product process is not required. So such kind of products are there. Toothbrush is there, paste is there, or soap or toilet soap are there. So many items they are selling. And you know, see, like these products are the ones which are demanded by the customers more because these products are daily using product. You know, most of these products. So we cannot now see, like if you consider if you don't have a brush or a toothpaste, then your entire life is or that day is spoiled. You know, so if you imagine like if you are going somewhere, a new place, and you are maybe see like you are going for a picnic and you forgot see like you packed all your products and you forgot to pack your brush and toothpaste. And early morning you got up and you cannot brush. So you simply if you brush with your hands or like that without brush and paste, then we will not feel comfortable. So if that day is lost, so if you don't have otherwise on that situation, you have to go outside and purchase one brush and toothpaste, and after that you have to come and brush it. Then only you will feel comfortable. So some people are there; they need like a morning bed coffee and all. So they require. So their parents and also most of you may be like getting up, and by the time you get up, your parents will be making ready that your mother will be preparing a bed coffee and give you. So you get a cup of coffee or get one tea in the morning. So after that only you feel relaxation. So these kinds of products that we are getting is without these products we cannot survive. Such kind of situation has come. So these are regularly using product. Every day we need these products and people they purchase the products. So in a marketing cooperative society, they join together for the purpose for the selling of the product. So they also give benefit for the producers, those who are producing small scale producers are there. So they will be helping the activities of the producers, those who are producing in a small scale units. Then next type of cooperative society that we have to study is about the farmers cooperative societies. These societies are established to protect the interest of farmers by providing better inputs at a reasonable cost. The members comprises farmers who wish to jointly take up farming activities. The aim is to gain the benefits of a larger scale farming and increase the productivity. Such societies provide better quality seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and other modern techniques for the use in the cultivation of crops. This helps not only in improving the yield and returns to the farmers, but also solves the problems associated with the farming on fragmented land holdings. The next one we have to study is about the farmers cooperative society. So farmers are there. So the farmers are the kind of group where the people are not combined together. So like farmers are there. So see in our area, there are like some areas are there, some places are there where people are having large amount of farms, big farmhouse and all will be there, and they are having large area, and the entire products or they are producing in a very big, huge areas. Okay, so some companies are also there, those who are producing in that way. But there are some kind of, most of the farmers are there, they are small scale farmers, like 1 acre land, 2 acre land, 3 acre land, like that it will be there. And some area they are cultivating. So means in our area, if you consider, see like some area is of 1 person, after that, all the area where cultivation is there, and all the area they are cultivating wheat. But in see like one area is the field of one particular person. After that, the area of another person. So it is divided into that area, that way. Okay. So these small farmers, they when they want to see like they want to purchase fertilizers, they want to purchase the good quality seeds, they want farm equipments required. All these type of things are required. So what they do is that they go to the market and purchase the product. So when they purchase directly from the market, they have to pay a very high amount of price there. Okay, and sometimes they may not get a very good quality seeds or a good quality fertilizers may not be. But basically, like if all the farmers in one area, imagine if in Haria see, there are so many farmers are there. So some 50 farmers or 100 farmers join together to create a cooperative society. In your village, imagine see like in your village there are some 50 families are there. 50 families, all these 50 families are doing farming, and most of them are doing like imagine see they are cultivating wheat. Okay, so all these farmers, they want fertilizers, they want seeds, they want all the equipments required. It's also tractor required, that is like a planting machine required. All these type of things are required. But the problem, and also laborers, they need laborers. So nowadays, one of the main problem that we are facing, most of the farmers are facing, is that they are not having sufficient number of laborers. So India is such a rich country where plenty of laborers were available. But now the situation has changed. Now the people are not interested to work in the field, isn't it? So if you ask anybody, those who are not a person who is not having any job and he is simply sitting at home, and if you ask them that can you work in the field, then are you interested in farming? So people, they consider like farming as a very low graded activity, isn't it? So see like this is one of the very great activity or very great work that the people are doing. So if there are no farmers, we will die without food, isn't it? So we are thinking that we are sitting in a very nice AC room and enjoying nice, living very happy life there, and we may think that the farmers are there, they are very low quality people, they are working in the mud, they are like kitchen, no? So they are working in that and they are very low graded people like that. So they are having very sweat will be there, wrong smell will be there. So these things like that. But see, they are working there. That is why we are getting food. Imagine, see, like you are drinking a tea. So if you want to drink a tea, you need milk, and milk is coming from the cow. So there should be somebody to take care of a cow, and they have to make a cow shed will be there. They have to clean the cow shed. They have to give bath to the cow, and they have to give food to the cow. All this work has to be done by someone. Then only the cow will be there. And if there are nobody is interested to take care of the cow, and everybody is interested to drink milk, then it is not possible. The milk cannot be produced like that. Now there are some techniques and all are there, like Fevicol and some things are mixed up. Then they are able to make milk. It seems. Okay, some duplicate milk is also produced. But really, if you want, if you drink that, then your stomach and all will get pasted. Like they are adding Fevicol and all, and making some kind of things like shampoo, Fevicol. Recently I had seen a video in WhatsApp. One video had come, and in that they are showing how they are mixing without a drop of milk. They are able to make a milk. Like some 20-liter milk. they are making. One packet of Fevicol they are taking, one shampoo is there, and some other ingredients, some kind of chemicals, and they are mixed up and pouring into one bucket of water, and they are making around 20 liter of milk, okay, in that. And the cost of making this 20 liter of milk is some around 150 to 200 rupees. So means 1 liter of milk is costing only just 10 rupees, and we are purchasing it for 40 rupees or 45 rupees, and even 50 rupees. Some like Buffalo's milk and all is costing 45 to 50 rupees, at least 40 rupees. You know, even if we are selling these products, 20 liter of milk is produced less than 150 to 200 rupees price. So such a way they are producing, and that milk, they say that if you consider, if you take and smell it, the smell of milk is there. If you taste it, the taste of milk is there. And if you boil, it will boil. If you mix as a tea, it will also be there. You can drink as a this one. The taste, the smell, the quality, all the things are similar. Just like you cannot identify whether it is a duplicate milk or a real milk. When you drink it, you will feel that more tastier than the real milk. You know. But as you keep on drinking this one, what happens is that our stomach will get upset. You know, so there will be problem for our stomach. They are adding flavor to it. They are adding chemicals to it, so that they are making. So most of the products that we are getting is like that. You know, so duplicate products we are getting. But if the real farmers are there, so they are working for making us eat food. You know, that is why we are being healthy. So in UP and all, you are very lucky because we are getting very fresh vegetables, fresh food items. In Kerala, we don't have such kind of food. Okay, so because we are purchasing the food items from all the food items in Kerala, people, they are not producing any single food products. Like vegetables, all the vegetables are purchased, not produced in Kerala. Any vegetables are not produced in Kerala. Any fruits, there are no much fruits produced in Kerala. Any type of products, almost all the food items are purchased from other states, most probably from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and so on. Like rice, wheat, all these type of things are like sugar cane, sugar, all these type of products, even from UP also, the products are coming there. Okay, so wheat, rice, all these type of wheat and all is coming from Punjab side or different areas. We are purchasing the products. And in Tamil Nadu, they are producing the these vegetables. So when they produce the vegetables, there also, in that also I have seen a video in that they are showing that that how they are producing vegetables. You know, so the vegetables are there. So when they are very small itself, they start spraying pesticides in it, you know, so that any insects and all will not come and attack it. And they are injecting some kind of hormones so that the size, like tomatoes and all. Nowadays, like if you purchase the tomato from the market, you will get big tomato, and it will be very reddish color. You know, you plant a tomato at your home and you see it will never become that much big, and it will never have such a color, very reddish color, very attractive, very like very plumpy, like it will be looking. You know how it is able to produce, because they are adding some kind of hormones, they are adding pesticides, they are adding duplicate kind of like some type of fertilizers which gives more energy to this plant. So what happens is that, see, like these plants are there. So when you eat these things, we are not getting actual benefit, but what we get in our Haria market, the tomatoes and those things which are coming is of a good quality. If you compare, if you go to Lucknow or if you go to city areas, Delhi or any other places, there you will find, and especially when you purchase the products and all from the malls, all these type of things, very costly products will be there. But all these products are of such kind of fabricated products are. You know, so when you purchase these things and when you eat it, it will create problem for the stomach. You know, so that is why you might have seen like people in the city area, they are becoming so much fat and they are unable to do anything. You know, so people in the village and all, they are very much strong, even if they are looking like pencil, but they are very strong. You know, because they are eating very good quality products, good quality vegetables, good quality farm products. So we get these things because of the farmers, even if it is whatever may be the quality, all these things are manufactured by the farmers, and these farmers, they produce this product. So all these farmers of a small scale farmers are there, they combine together and they will need fertilizers. So this farmers cooperative society will be purchasing fertilizers in a bulk quantity and distribute to the farmers. They will purchase seeds in a bulk quantity and distribute to the farmers. And they need a tractor, they need like a drilling machine, or they need like that combined machine for harvesting and so on. So these machines, individual farmers are unable to purchase. So these cooperative societies, they will purchase the machines, by the money, they take contribution from the different members, and they purchase this machine and they give it to the different farmers. So they will be able to make use of these facilities. And even after selling of their products, like if after at the time of harvesting, most of the time what happens is that if they are having very good harvest, but the price of the products will be very low. So what happens is that even if they are having very good harvest, they will not get much profit. And if they are having very low harvest, at that time price will be there, but they don't have product to sell. So these problems will be there. So in order to avoid that, these farmers cooperative society, they will have warehouses, they will have distribution system, they will be able to sell the product to the in the area where there is a higher demand is. Okay. Then next we have to study is about a credit cooperative societies. Credit cooperative societies are established for providing easy credit on reasonable terms to the members. The members comprise of persons who seek financial help in the form of loans. The aim of such societies is to protect the members from the exploitation of lenders who charge high rates of interest on loans. Such societies provide loans to members out of the amounts collected as capital and deposits from the members, and charge low rates of interest. So these credit cooperative societies are joined together. It's like if marketing, like if in our Haria market, there are so many businessmen are there, and they are in need of money. So they may need money in the time, and again they require money. So they have to purchase some products, or see like if see Raksha Bandhan is coming. So at the time of Raksha Bandhan, they will have see they have to purchase Rakhi and they have to sell it. So they need more money for that. At that time they may need more money, so they will make it. And after the Raksha Bandhan, so during the Raksha Bandhan, these products will be sold and they will be getting profit, and after that they can pay back. So for short term period, maybe for 1 week time, 1 month time, like that, they need money. So this money sometimes they may not have available. So they need a loan from some companies like that. So what they do is that they join so many people. There are so many people, those who are so many businessmen are there, those who are doing businesses like that. So what they do is that they combine together, join together, and they make a cooperative society, and they make an investment. So when they are having money, they'll be investing this money into the group, and they invest this money in maybe in a shares, or they may be investing this money into the bank, and they will be making it. And when the people are in need, they will give them money in a very easily. Like imagine, see, if you want to have a loan from a bank, you have to give so many formalities are there, it will take so much time. So if you see, like for Raksha Bandhan, if you want to start a shop, and for that if you are asking a bank loan, even Raksha Bandhan is over, after that that year is over, then also you will not get the loan. So there is no benefit in that. But if you have like this cooperative society and all is there, so if you ask for a money within 1 or 2 days, you will get the loan, and you can you make use of this money for doing the business, and after the business is over, then you get the money, so you can pay the money back. So such kind of facilities will be provided by the credit cooperative societies. Okay, so for that purpose, this credit cooperative society is also joined. And last type of cooperative society is that cooperative housing societies. Cooperative housing societies are established to help the people with a limited income to construct houses at a reasonable cost. The members of these societies consist of people who are desirous of producing residential accommodation at a lower cost. The aim is to solve the housing problems of the members by constructing houses and giving the option of paying it in installments. These societies construct flats or provide plots to the members on which the members themselves can construct the houses as per their choice. So there are so many people in our country, those who are interested to make a house of themselves, but they don't have that much money. See, like if you want to make a good house, it may cost some 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees, average house. So if you want a nice house, there are 30, 40 lakh rupees required, but at least some low quality, if it's an average house for a person who is not having a house of like 10, 15 lakh rupees, quite good house can be made. But a person with a very limited income, see like if a person who is working as a farmer, so he is, or say like if labor, okay, so he may be getting 500 rupees in a day. And 500 rupees in a day, if he is getting in that as 300, 400 rupees, he will be spent for his daily expenses and some 100 rupees remaining. So every day, if he is keeping 100 rupees each, then he will not be able to, he will not be in such a position to make a house by himself. So such kind of, there are so many people like that. So they are joined together to form a cooperative housing society. And these cooperative housing society, what they do is that they collect money from different people and they take the support of the government also. And they take money from the government and they make houses. And they make house and give to the people, give to the members. And the money is spent on, see like imagine if total 10 lakh rupees is spent for making one house. So such a 10 house they make and give it to 10 people. And they will pay this money in a monthly installments. Okay, every month they may be paying, say like some 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, such a way they will be paying the money and they will be making it. Okay, so this is the kind of system that they are using for making the money available or making the houses. And also after, so or they make a big flats, you know, so if they are not having sufficient land, they make a flat and they give it to the members. Different members are there, they will be giving them. Okay. Or they also like some purchase the land. See, like one area will be there, they will be purchasing 2-3 acres of land and they make it into small plots and hand over this land to the people, those who are not having the land to make a house. So they may have a house, means they may have a little bit money for making a house, but for purchasing the land and making the house, they may not have money. Okay, so means like if you want to purchase a land, it will cost at least some 10-15 lakh rupees. And if after that, if you want to make the house, and then again it will cost some 10-15 lakh rupees. So around 30-40 lakh rupees required for purchasing land and making building. Okay, so that much money will not be there. See, like one person may be having some 10 or 15 lakh or maximum 20 lakh rupees will be there. So with that person, so what he can do is that he has to spend that money for either for purchasing the money land or for making the house fully. So they will help the people to purchase the land. They will purchase these cooperative societies. They will purchase the land for a large area, and they give it little, distribute these houses or these areas to different people, so that they'll be able to make a houses there. Okay, and they combine together to join together like that. Okay, so these are the kind of systems that we are. These are the different cooperative societies that we are having. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding the topics that we have discussed, you may ask now.